Oh, God.
Hello and welcome to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 130 for August the 25th, 2017. You can email us at Cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com if you wish to get in contact with us. Facebook is still Swine Brothers and Twitter is SwineBros666. After a month absence, many months, I am still your host, Elliot Lindemood. My co-hosts are...
I'm Jim, the seeing eye mutant, reader of stories and asshole.
My name is Gruba.
You might recognize that
Fuck
voice
you.
from, like, episode 2.
And I'm Eric, and all I have to say is I never thought I'd live to see this day.
Yes, well, mine is Chazzy because it's late where we are, so...
Which is why I kept putting things
I know the question on everybody's mind is rotting asshole meat the turd, or is it the muscles and the nerves and shit?
It would be the muscles. It would be the... I mean, because
it would be the whole kit and caboodle, because there would still be a turd inside after someone died and started rotting, so here it goes. The shit would be coming out while the asshole itself is rotting.
Yeah.
Lovely way to start the first show since, like, January.
Right?
And I'd like to also welcome everyone to the 1980s. Congratulations. We are now back from full-blown satanic ritual abuse panic mode.
So we're still not allowed to listen to metal?
Well, it's a little bit different. It is a little bit different here. Because in the old days, it was the establishment going after metal, saying metal's going to make you worship Satan, which I do, sort of, in a way. Kill your parents, kill your teachers, kill your friends, commit suicide, fail at school. Nowadays, it's the...
posers.
Yes, it's people in the metal scene and whatever peripheral thing.
Metal
well,
scene?
You know, I actually listened to Al Gore's wife. I haven't listened to metal in like 15 years or something. Even longer than that.
I see.
Get the recovering junkie some cocaine. He needs cocaine now.
That's bad for you. That's bad for you.
Your voice went down a couple octaves since we last talked.
You know, damn well, I'm not going to fucking let you live it down, you junkie.
His voice is
what I should do is to make myself feel better is get a bunch of kids hooked on it.
There we
go.
What
it is, how to get it.
Just pass on
how much it is. Steal your parents' wallets and have at it. You can get it through UPS right now, baby.
Whenever I was selling drugs out of my dad's attic, I told people the proper way to steal money off my dad. Apparently, they needed to learn from a master of stealing from my dad.
All right. This reminds me so much of Metalgate, and the stories we have are a lot like Metalgate.
It never. What I'm surprised by is that like it didn't die. Like I haven't paid attention to any of that, and it's here again, and it's like seriously.
It seems to have died for a couple months when we were off air because Jim was busy and whatever, and I couldn't get other people to do it. Not that I'm replacing you.
Over and over again.
Like I said, it seems to have not not that it ever replaced you, Jim. But it seems to have died for a while. That's why we were never really doing shows because it was like, well, what are we going to talk about? But it's picked up with the vengeance.
Why?
Yep. Several stories in 1 week, plus a couple holdovers that were just like, maybe, but maybe not.
Almost feels like they just go in loops of shit that they're offended over, and it just happens to be metal again. And next week it'll be fucking, spaghetti's racist.
I don't care.
Let's kick it off, shall we?
An open letter to Hells Headbangers Records to stop releasing and distributing metal by white supremacists.
One of the greatest underground record labels and distros, Hells Headbangers. I fully support them.
Yeah, white people. Fuck yeah.
Yes. The show's barely started. We're already off the deep end.
No more mosquitoes. Get your tiki torches.
Oh, come on. I just want to fuck a nigger and impregnate her again. Hence my ex-wife.
Yes,
Not very
thank
white,
you.
dude. Not very white. You're not in the club anymore.
Good. I never wanted to be in that club. Fuck you.
Well, thanks for tuning in.
See, now we can finally make fun of the other side, and it's actually fun.
Yeah, we needed a righty in here. Oh, God.
They started taking themselves seriously. That's what happens.
All right, let's start this thing, shall we?
All right. Metal Sucks was recently contacted by a group of metal musicians identifying itself as the Anti-NSBM Working Group.
Now, Jim doesn't seem to think these people exist. I don't know for sure because I couldn't find any information, but there is a large anti-NSBM community in the RABM, Red and Anarchist Black Metal community. Yes, they exist. And certain groups like Mystifier, who were an amazing band from Brazil, but who were also hardcore socialists and do interviews about racism and metal. So I'll give these guys the benefit of the doubt for now until I see evidence otherwise that it wasn't written by Metal Sucks. Of course, it fits the tune perfectly.
I give no shits. I give them no fucking credit because these people fucking lie through their teeth half the time. Anyways,
I'm just saying it.
Anyways, the Anti-NSBM Working Group.
That sounds gay as fuck.
Asked us if we'd publish an open letter they drafted to address metal label and distros Hells Headbangers, SIC.
Oh, yeah, they hate that Hells Headbangers doesn't have an apostrophe in Hells. That's nitpicking.
I hope the response
Well, what about the
really
9 Hells?
The most racist.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Fucking, I go to the 9 Hells every time I roleplay. In fact, we're fucking gonna be fucking setting a town on fire that summons hell because we want the Abyss.
Hell the Abyss.
Hell the Abyss. Dang old Abyss.
The goal is to call on Hell's Headbangers to cease releasing and distributing Nazi propaganda.
Yay!
Okay. So tell a record label to stop distributing media.
Some of it is propaganda. I mean, some of it comes with propaganda. I got a Dark Fury CD that actually came with a propaganda DVD. It was quite funny.
That's awesome.
Yes, right? It was actually quite funny.
That's the response they need to do is just be obnoxiously more racist.
Well, Hell's Headbangers is not race. They're not affiliated with racism. They're not racist. It's a family-owned operation.
Well, that's the only troll response that they could do. The only way to really troll this is to just give them what they really want. So
what they need is a fucking slap in the face.
Recent events
give them what they want. It's more fun.
Recent events in Charlottesville, the holy ground, where everything is going to happen at all times.
That no one's going to give a shit about in 6 weeks. I'm going to be the only one who remembers Charlottesville because I remember things. No one's going to care about this thing.
No more mosquitoes.
I won't remember the name of the place probably. I'll just probably remember, that place where that chick got ran over by that car during that rally.
I cataloged things like trends in my mind just to beat people over the head who get all worked up over something. I was like, well, do you remember this? You were all worked up over this 2 months ago, and you said you were going to stamp out racism. What are you doing now?
I'm probably like one of 3 people who remember. I'm probably one of 3 people who remembers the name Trayvon Martin and the significance it has. No one else in BLM does, and I haven't, and I'm not even part of BLM.
And apparently, I'm the other. So we have 2 of the 3 here.
Oh God!
Trayvon Skiddly Bop.
Skittle boy.
Martin.
Skiddly Bop.
Trayvon the Skiddly Bop Negro boy. Martin.
There we go. And elsewhere, they can't even mention the fucking other place. That place where they had the one free speech rally where the Indian guy was speaking.
Something Boston, something.
There we go. It was Boston. That's right. And like they had all these protesters outside protesting, like a dozen people. The people inside were holding up Black Lives Do Matter signs. There was a guy from India there, or I'm assuming India. That's the way he talked.
One of the people that died on their head, you know, camel humpers.
Yeah.
No.
We've gone over it. Yes.
Incorrect. You're a fucking racist, Elliot.
Of course, you know I was going to say that.
Yes, I know.
You know, it's the dot on the forehead, India, not the woo.
There we go.
Not the one who's listening to the show.
Welcome to 7-Eleven and all that.
Shout out to Jenny Thompson.
Yeah.
So Charlottesville, the holy ground, and elsewhere are striking reminders of the danger and threat the extreme right poses. And you're not going to mention all the shit that Antifa does. Let's continue. They're both fucking wrong. Fuck you.
But they're so fucking much fun to watch.
Yes, they are. Oh, God.
Don't ever ban them. Don't ever stop them. Please.
Well, you got to eventually stop the violence when it starts hurting other people's property. I don't care if they go at each other with chainsaws, ripping each other apart. That's good entertainment.
We should just rent like a part of Idaho and just chain link it off and say, yeah, go at it.
No,
see, I've been wanting to fucking just
Arkansas.
I just wanted to buy like an entire state, you know.
Close off Arkansas.
Maybe Rhode Island. You know,
Arkansas has the right name for it. That sounds violent.
Jim, Arkansas, because you have the Antifa people and you have ultra trailer trash rednecks. You can watch them go out like Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Arkansas phonetically sounds violent. Arkansas.
It's like a fucking Battle Royale between Antifa, who kill each other, and then the trailer trash.
Yeah. In Arkansas. Sunday. Bloody Sunday. It'll be a fucking $200 pay-per-view. I'll do it.
I'll watch.
Yeah, helicopters going by.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then like, you know, after 2 days you start dropping RPGs and fucking shit.
Like here, anybody who doesn't fight.
Better. Anyone that's still alive, you can fight with this now. Just drop more hardcore weapons the longer it goes. And then the final day you just nuke the place and they're all gone.
That was all for nothing. Never mind. Nuke. Next.
Texas.
I hope Trump's listening to this and he's like, that sounds like a damn fine idea.
Metal and other underground music genres are major venues for neo-Nazis and fascists who are underground movements, as are communists, as are any extreme ideology, because they're pushed out of the public sight. So, of course, they're going to be attracted to other underground places and generate underground media. Fuck!
And also, you liberals are actually kind of, well, I mean, I'm to the left, but, you know, hardcore are actually like invaders on the black metal scene. I mean, it was started by people who had, I mean, Uranus was a communist because communism killed more people than Nazism.
I love that.
But other than that, yeah, you had Varg Vikernes. I don't need to go into his political beliefs.
Old Vargy.
Yeah, old Vargy. Hellhammer had a white power sticker on his drum kit.
Yeah, he was the most well-dressed fucking Viking ever.
And the funny thing is, Hellhammer actually looks kind of Asian if you look at him in the right light, apparently. So.
Of course, Elliot wouldn't know.
No, I'm taking this on good fucking.
You're telling me how people look. You're telling me how people look.
Well, yes, because like I heard it from enough friends that
you heard it from enough friends, but can't you
had to hear it?
See them? Did you see them to make that judgment?
He's blind.
I know he's blind. That's why I'm giving him shit.
Eric, sick him.
Okay.
I'm gonna send a rabbit Eric after you.
Eric, yeah, I love it.
I'll go over to their houses right now. Let me grab my private jet.
I'm gonna send Eric on you to kill your ass.
Okay, I'll do it.
They're gonna propagandize.
Eric would show up with a weapon in hand, and he's like, "I never mind. I can't do this."
You want to order pizza?
Yeah. Have you seen this movie before?
I just love the way this is worded. Metal and underground music genres and major venues.
I'm sorry.
Metal and other underground music genres are major venues for neo-Nazis and fascists to propagandize and recruit.
Okay.
Now, the propagandize I can get, okay, because they're saying shit. A lot of it is just flat-out propaganda. And recruit, or they're like drug dealers now. Hey, would you like some, 3 grams of white nationalism, huh? Come on, sniff. Come on. You know, it's like cocaine.
Like Antifa and the other communists don't use fucking propaganda either. Oh no, they're above that.
I read a book about the Nazi punk scene in Britain, and everyone who was introduced to Nazi punk already had extreme right beliefs, or at least hated someone because of something. Right? It was not like I was a good old social democrat, and then I heard Screwdriver.
Oh, now I get it, brother. Now I get it.
Yeah, it was like I already was a uber patriot with the British flag, and then when I heard Screwdriver, just codify. So these people are already half Nazis to begin with. Second of all, recruit. I'm sorry. In a lot of black metal, you can't understand what they're saying anyway, especially if they're singing a different language.
I was a peaceful person until the first time I heard "Kill 'Em All," and then I just started killing people.
I was a social democrat, uber communist before I heard Screwdriver and Bound for Glory, and then after one Bound for Glory song that wasn't even about Nazism, I converted overnight.
I saw it happen.
Come on, we just need some more grams. We'll make some of that black nationalism in there too. That'll cut it real good,
I'm just saying, no one. It doesn't recruit. You have to. I mean, it's not like I wasn't interested in Satanism, and then I heard dissection. It was like
this is unacceptable to us, and we are now taking action to remove them from our community.
What community?
The communist unity.
We read the Emily Hill thing all about fucking how the metal community is accepting and shit like that. And we said the same thing. There's no community.
It's the metal scene always told me to fuck off. So
it's a group of people who may get along based on the music that they like, but they have nothing else in common. I mean, some people are as hardcore as I am. Jim, I'm semi. No,
I wouldn't know. Tipper Gore had me convinced.
Scott is freaking a poser.
Yeah, he was born a poser from fucking episode 1 I did with him.
But he's a good guy.
I always bust his chops. There's no need to fucking bust his chops right now.
Guys, you really should pay attention to what Tipper had to say. I mean,
okay, Scott, shut up. But he's a nice poser. And he's actually willing to listen.
Yes, that's the important part. When you're a poser, you actually fucking listen.
I'll listen to your metal problems and probably be like, yeah, it sucks.
Jim, carry on.
It's important that we make a distinction here. The owners and staff of Hells Headbangers are not, as far as we know, white supremacists or far-right extremists.
No, they're good guys and girls who produce music about devil worshipping and murdering people.
Who are white.
Like every good person should. Hail Satan and kill your enemies or your friends.
Yeah, every good person should be white. That's for sure.
Thank you.
The vast majority of the labels they distribute and the bands whose records they release aren't either. And we're not condemning any of those, but we're going to go after them anyway.
Have you noticed that you can't call someone a communist and it's like a burn? You can't do that. That doesn't exist. But you call them a Nazi.
No, you can call them a communist and it's, I mean...
Not really,
I think largely...
Not like calling someone a Nazi.
Oh, God. Yeah. There was that one fucking poser that was fucking trying to talk to me. The guy I told you about was like, oh, I have no emotions.
Oh, God.
He was like, well, I'm like 50% communist and 50% Nazi.
What? A Nazi.
He was troll. That had to be a troll. Seriously.
No, it wasn't a troll. This guy was your typical millennial that was all over emotional and, the complete stereotype down to a T, except for the fact that he was trying to be like this mutual, like fucking, he thought that the center,
the middle of the road, everything's middle of the
road with everything was actually just both extremes combined.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I call it coming closer to rationality, but yeah, there are some insane centrist ideas, but it's not a melding of. Oh God,
Nazism.
I usually just like swing back and forth and go bisexual with it. I go both ways.
Scott goes bisexual. Okay, you've heard
all the time.
He loves big black cock.
Mm-hmm. On the grill.
We're simply calling on Hells Headbangers to stop participating in the spread of hate through tacit endorsement and participation. Okay, so that completely undoes everything you said. Well, you're not, but this is now saying they are.
What else is metal supposed to spread?
What he's saying is we're not calling on the bands that aren't Nazis. We're calling on bands like Abysmal Lord. We'll leave them alone. But bands
that's
like
too complicated. Fuck off.
Goat Moon or whatever, because Hell's Headbangers distributed Goat Moon's latest album, which was fucking awesome, by the way. Shane Mathis was the first one to jump on Hell's Headbangers' dick about this. You remember our good friend Shane, right?
I'm totally surprised by that, man.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no, you're not. Man, there's no way you could be surprised by anything.
I keep asking Shane Mathis to come on the show and explain his piece, but he won't do it. Same thing with the guys from Metal Sucks.
Of course he won't do it, dude. He couldn't even.
It's funny. You go back several episodes, you'll hear where they're like, Colby's came in, and like we let them speak their mind. And I had to sit there and wait until I found things enough of what they were saying to point out, well, this is where I differ, this is where I differ.
Yeah.
And the moment I started differing, they all started to fucking just start talking over everyone else because they had to be in charge instead of like letting other people voice their minds like we let them do for 20 minutes.
People with alternate opinions are more than welcome on this thing. I'm willing to listen to Antifas or ANCAPs or ANCOMs or Nazis or
anything. I don't care.
What about the niggers though?
One of them.
Well, that's why we got you.
Yeah.
Here's the open letter in full. Dear HHR.
Geiger?
Oh. Yeah. I love those paintings.
Yeah.
Over the last decade. That's fucking sexy. I've seen that porn.
Penis landscape.
Yes.
It's a freaking.
Toss that in there real quick. Penis landscape.
Well, no, it's
over the last decade and a half of a
painting.
penis landscape.
It's a Giger painting. Shut up.
Giger counter. Get your Giger counter out. It's radioactive around here.
God, shut up, Jim. Continue.
You've risen to become one of the strongest underground metal labels. You released many of the best recent records in the genre from bands new and old, and your band has come to be synonymous with true, uncompromising cult metal.
True.
Yes.
Trevu.
They actually didn't put the V in, which I'm surprised, but.
Well, I would expect.
I love how you have to spell
like TROO.
You have to add the word
TR00.
Yeah.
You have to add the word
TR00TAL.
Yes. That's awesome.
You have to use the word cult in it to make it sound as underground as possible instead of just saying underground so people understand.
Hell's Headbangers is shit I would describe as cult, actually.
Cavolt TR00
not
BM.
Cavolt, you fucking
Cavolt.
Continue before I slit his throat.
You should slit his throat anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, for this one, salute you. In recent years, though, you've also become the most prominent distributors of NSBM and similar right-wing extremist music in the USA.
That's because they don't make distinctions. Good music is good music for them. Left wing, right wing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Archgoat works with Satanic Warmaster, and although Satanic Warmaster themselves aren't Nazis, I know Werewolf Records, the record label of the guy Werewolf who runs Satanic Warmaster, has NSBM bands such as Goat Moon. So I mean, they don't make distinctions. Good music is good music for them, as it should be for all. But
they are Satanists, though. So yes, Tipper said. Good.
We'll get into that.
Yes.
That's
I don't know, man. It's pretty scary.
We understand that your label is conceived of as apolitical. Oh, well, right there should tell you fuck off. And that you're in it for the metal and not the ideologies expressed. Again, that should tell you to fuck off. However, you're playing a leading role in normalizing neo-Nazi ideals. No, they're not.
Normalizing it.
No. The fucking people at Metal Sucks are normalizing neo-Nazi ideas by not shutting up about them.
And weren't Nazis from Germany in like the 30s and 40s? I mean,
are you sure you're sober, Scott?
I'm positive because these people aren't Nazis.
Well, Nazism is a very specific thing, but
exactly. The other side are definitely fucking communists.
Jim, walk down the street with a swastika on and a fucking Heil Hitler or Someday the World Will Realize Hitler Was Right t-shirt.
Yeah, but then he'd just be a fucking Nazi wannabe.
Jim, and see what reaction you get. Will it be normalized? If you walk down with the street with a shirt saying Hitler was right?
You'll probably get about most people trying to stay out of your way with some coming up to spit in your face. Yeah, that doesn't sound like normalized to me.
I mean, I was reading a story about one girl in England who was killed for wearing goth clothes 10 years ago, and you think goth would be pretty normalized, so fucking Nazi.
If anything, far left ideas are more normalized than fucking Nazis.
Well, yeah. And you, my point though is that's normal. Okay, fine. So I'm gonna walk around the street with a fucking megaphone screaming, "The Holocaust never happened. Hitler was right." And just reaction
with a tiki torch.
Let's throw you into Compton.
Fuck no, God! I wouldn't do that in Compton.
What if you had a really fast car?
dude, I'm the only one here who's been to Compton.
I'm never going to Compton.
I know, you've told me enough to realize, that's even worse than the worst ghetto I've been to. That's like,
I'm not even going to the ghetto closest by. Fuck that.
For those of you who don't live in LA and you've never been to Compton, imagine hovels, and then a drug dealer's mansion with like Hummers parked out front.
Yeah. Rap video.
True ghetto. Anyways, they're normalizing neo-Nazi ideals in our genre and in providing a venue for this kind of bigoted propaganda. So,
aren't they a little late to the fucking party? That kind of shit's been around for how long now?
Well, I mean, I hate going to live shows and having bands left or right, politicize. Yes, Napalm Death making jokes about Mitt Romney was funny, but I've been to shows. This song. Because we explained every song, but this song is about racism and how we will win. And then he goes on a 10-minute rant for a 90-second song.
Yeah, I've seen that with both the for and against. And it's like, God, just shut up. Just play. Get to the music.
No, don't ever shut up. Just keep doing it. It's so much fun.
If you can't,
unless you're like Biscuit, then please continue on saying, "Give me my hat back." I'm not playing anymore until you give me my hat back. Give me my hat back. Because then you just eat up all your time on stage, and we don't have to listen to you as long.
I'm not a big fan of Tool, but Limp Bizkit butchered that fucking opiate.
And it's one of the funniest videos I've ever fucking seen in my life. Oh my god. Anyway, go ahead.
We are living in times in which the extreme right is resurgent around the world, entirely because the fucking commies are coming out in force and the media is trying to normalize it while they burn cities to the ground. But, the same thing which happened, which led to fucking Hitler rising to power, that same exact thing, and you're condoning it.
No, Jim, it's all 4chan's fault.
It's all them fucking dang old 4chaners.
You're such a redneck, Scotty.
And in which neo-Nazis have no qualms about targeting and murdering immigrants, LGBT people, racial minorities, and leftists.
Well, yes, that part's true. The guy killed, 77 people in Norway, and that is a problem. But I don't think you can blame it on music.
Yeah, but he had some pretty fucking sweet guns.
Fuck, his manifesto was funny because he just ripped everyone off. He ripped off the Unabomber, and then he had, some parts about...
He ripped up the Unabomber, so he was like, computers, dude.
Computers suck, dude.
Fuck computers, bro.
But I'm gonna no, computers suck. But I'm gonna email this to people on a computer.
Yeah, so we should just copy and paste our own manifesto from other people's manifestos. Just don't even fucking care.
Maybe we'll get away with it.
We can even list the manifestos that we ripped off at the end as, sources cited.
Jim,
just to let them know it's direct quote. We're not even doctoring it.
From the wisest, greatest thinker of our time or anyone else's time, the late Otis Eugene Ray.
Oh, God, yes. 4 simultaneous days in one single Earth rotation.
Oh, shit. I thought that sounded familiar. Go ahead, Jim. Tell the world.
Continue your thing. We've already done Time Cube, but he died last year.
That's sad.
Oh.
We have lost a great prophet.
Yes.
Anyways, fascists are using metal for propaganda and recruiting ends.
So are Christians. I have
everyone.
Yeah, I have a Christian. I have some Christian metal bands because I'll listen to music if it's good, regardless of whatever genre. And these Christian metal things come with flyers. If you'd like to get in contact with us and spread the word about Jesus through death metal.
We're spreading the word of Jesus through death metal. On the cross, he died and bled.
And they really are some. It really is some good music, though. That's the thing, and it's like
Jesus said he would come back, but nobody ever said what kind of fucking mood he'd be in.
Or
let everyone
black metal.
Everything in sight.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And your distro and label are enabling them. How is it enabling them to fucking?
Because, and the thing is, okay, let's say if Hells Headbangers stops, then Darker Than Black, Elegy, Werewolf, we'll just find some other medium. You're not going to put these people out of business. They're going to find some other person to distribute them, or they'll do it online through something. You're not going to shut them up.
No, they'll just find another place to go.
I vaguely recall the fucking satanic panic during the 80s. I suffered a bit during the 90s whenever I actually got into metal. But, I remember everyone saying, heavy metal is going to turn you into a Satanist and it's going to make you kill people in a daycare and shit like that, Well,
I always thought it would.
You just kept seeing more and more people listen to metal because they kept threatening to ban it.
I would love people who said that to listen to actually meet. I've turned a Christian who might be listening to this onto not really metal, but I've turned her because she thought the same thing you thought, Jim. And I was like, well, yes, I'm a Satanist, and she was like, oh, and she actually got into some metal, and yet she's a Christian, listens to fucking, Satanic War Master.
Mm-hmm. Good shit. This is no time for apolitical fence sitting. It's never any time for apolitical fence sitting. You must obey everything we say right now. And we request that you take down a stand towards a better state of things for metal.
See, like right there, I hear a fucking threat, and at that point, shouldn't we have to have the right to fucking kill these fuckers?
It's not so much a threat. It's basically.
It's pretty veiled, I admit, but at the end of the day, you know what they want.
I mean, I'm pretty left wing, but I mean, I'll fucking defend freedom of speech to the death. I mean, not just because I like the music, but because.
Well, you know how fucking like. I get fucking all retarded when it comes to free speech and shit. And I hear kind of veiled threats like that all the fucking time. It pisses me off. I have to stay away from that kind of shit.
If Dark Fury went on a killing spree and killed 30 immigrants or whatever, yeah, I would be the first. I would be the first to condemn it. But would I still listen to the music? Hell yeah.
Yeah. It would actually make their music even more, cathartic and
yeah.
They killed people.
It's like the first Mayhem album that has Euronymous on guitar and Varg on bass, and of course Varg ended up killing Euronymous a couple months later. There's just a weird cathartic feeling you get listening to those two interplay, murderer and victim.
Hey, dude, you're out of tune. I'm not. Fuck you. That needs to be an album. Just like a 30-second thing where someone gets killed for being out of tune. Yes.
Oh, yes.
I've got a film full of lead.
We respect and appreciate. With respect and appreciation for the bulk of your releases, we ask you to clean.
Yeah.
We ask you to
they
clean
respect
up your,
the bulk. Sorry, what?
We ask you to clean up your act and promptly do the following. Never clean up your act. I learned that the hard way. I lost my rights to my kids because I cleaned up my act, did everything the government wanted, and they still said, "Fuck you, you're not getting your kids."
Can you please read that line again? Please read that again.
We ask you to clean up your act and promptly do the following.
What a bunch of faggots! Oh my God.
I like Chris Barnes' thing when he's talking about why he left Cannibal Corpse. You know, I got into metal partly because it was like fucking no rules and, you know, you can do whatever you want. Now they're telling me to obey rules? Really?
Clean up your act.
Metal is no rules and anarchy. Well, not that, but you know, no rules and fucking freedom. But you know, clean up your act and obey us, because you're responsible for every death. You're responsible for.
Isn't cleaning up your act what the PMRC was all about?
Yeah. When did the commies become a 50s dad? I mean, come on.
You Hells Headbangers are responsible for World War II, the Armenian genocide. It's just...
Oh, God.
Clean up your act. This is extreme metal, people. Extreme
that
music.
Sounds like a Disney take on fucking metal. That's a Disney metal band. Clean up your act.
Extreme music draws in extreme people with extreme beliefs.
Extreme cleaning up of your act.
Scott.
What?
Shut the fuck up.
No.
Shut the fuck up, Scott.
Cease your blah 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 blah. I can't even speak right now.
Living.
Cease your distribution of NS and far-right labels, such as, but not limited to, Darker Than Black, Pagan War, Werewolf Records, and Elegy Records.
Elegy Records, of course, are responsible for the best internet radio station about metal, Wolf Lair Radio, playing everything from Iron Maiden and Overkill to obscure black death metal I've never heard of. Wolf Lair Radio, check them out. This is a plug. Fuck you.
Good. Purge your distro of NS far-right releases and your label of NS far-right bands, including In Totalitarian and releases by SSP Death Angel Absolution.
Death Angel Absolution.
I got a question. What do you think the person who wrote this looks like?
That one guy from The Simpsons that's just like fat behind the computer is like, I need like more.
No, I think he looks like Hans Moleman from The Simpsons.
You mean worst everything ever?
No.
God
damn it.
It's Hans Moleman, Jim. No one's gay for Moleman. It's Hans Moleman or comic book guy, but I like to picture Hans Moleman. Stop writing about Nazis, please.
Publicly,
if someone got this worked up over this shit, cracks me up a little bit.
Publicly commit to a policy going forward of avoiding relationships with NS far-right bands, artists, and labels.
That's what Voices of Wonder did. Voices of Wonder, a record label from the 90s, mostly responsible for goth music, but had Burzum on its label and some black metal distros, was pilloried for having Burzum on its label because of reasons too stupid to get into. And I don't know if they're still around, but it's in 2003, apparently, they had a no racism clause that any artist wishing to sign to Voices of Wonder had to sign.
No racism.
Whereas bands like Norma, or was labels like Norma Evangelia, will
what's racism, dude?
Will basically have anyone that looks, that sounds good because it's the music, not the politics, and I respect them for that. That's of course, the guy from Clandestine Blazes label.
What's racism mean?
Shut up.
Should you fail to do so, we call for a boycott of your label by metal journalists, distros, venues, and fans, and we'll apply whatever other pressure we find appropriate. So, in other words, your website's going to go under because they're like one of the big names.
I would encourage people to buy Hells Headbangers records, except for one problem, Jim.
Can't.
There's no reason why you're not already buying Hells Headbangers records unless you're Jim and can't afford them.
Can't do it.
I mean, you should be buying Hells Headbangers already. The lineup is too fucking good not to.
I wouldn't know anything about that, man.
Yeah, because you're a poser.
Yes.
Yep.
Established that
true.
at the beginning.
It's true. We already know that, Elliot. Fuck.
Your label is known for its high aesthetic standards. So then why care? If it's good music, who cares?
You already know the reason. Because
I mean, fucking, I'll sit there and I'll sing along, saying, "Zigga kill a nigger." Then the very next one, property is theft. Property is theft.
Jim, you know the reason already because Hells Headbangers, by releasing Nazi music, is responsible for Charlottesville, for Trump's very existence.
Charlottesville, World War Trump 2.
For Scott's existence, everything. It's basically, they're going to get their idea. Nobody becomes a Satanist or a Nazi from music, from books maybe.
I don't know, man. I think you're wrong.
Please consider whether you also want it to be known for promoting neo-Nazi trash. Oh, please say that that's what they're known for. Just watch how many more people flock.
I think they already know that they're known like that.
Because the whole thing is, what happens every time we talk about banning guns here in the U.S.? People,
a billion guns get sold.
Yeah, like it fucking breaks records. So you talk about trying to shut down a fucking distro for being racist? Oh, fuck. People will flock by the thousands to go to that shit.
You were wondering if they already know. Honestly, I don't think they care. I mean, from what I know about these people, they like me. They like music. They like black and death metal and shit.
Right.
That's all they care about.
So this sounds like nothing.
I don't think the label will actually do anything because they've probably gotten shit before.
I think they should do something. I think they should give a bonus to some bands to release the most racist shit ever made.
That's
ever.
Just baiting. That's just baiting. Inaction.
So it would be fucking hilarious.
Inaction is what they don't want. They don't want inaction. The people who write they want action. Either either their beliefs or their non-beliefs, which, well, okay, now we have proof that they're, but inaction is exactly what they don't want.
Well, I just think it would be funnier to trigger the fuck out of these faggots as hard as they can.
They're not going to.
That would be funny.
Yeah, well,
no,
I don't care if they learn or not. I just want to laugh.
You want to hear a sad, depressing moment of complete failed humor? Entirely independent of the.
I'm already living my own life, man. So I don't think you're going to press me much. Go ahead.
Entirely independent of the above letter and the anti-NSBM working group, Metal Sucks would also like to request that Hells Headbangers add a fucking apostrophe to its label where it fucking belongs, for Christ's sakes. Okay? Thanks.
That's just something I never cared about. I'm familiar with the record. You know what? You go, just give me a second. I'm going to look up the artists.
I don't get it, man.
Because it's HELO. Oh, I don't even care.
Oh.
I mean, what about nuclear war now? I mean, they have.
What if Kim Jong-un started a fucking metal band, though? I mean,
okay, Hells Headbangers Records.
Why are you looking that up, dude?
What were we just talking about?
I have no idea.
Shut up.
Eric.
Yes.
What about Kiss?
Okay.
What about them?
What about them, man?
What do they have to do with this whole Nazi thing?
I have no idea.
I'm looking to see if there's any actual NSBM on their label.
Oh. Probably.
Blood Feast, they're a good band. There's a lot of really good bands here, but I don't see any. Yes, they distribute, but
that's just distribution, is going to be enough to piss these faggots off.
Yeah, like I said, you should be fucking buying everything from this. I'm looking at the label now. It's like a metal-gasm. Demonic Crash.
Anyways, let's move on to the next thing that's going to make us laugh or cry or piss us off. Calgary rock fan takes issue with city listing music as a gateway to hate groups.
I haven't seen this.
I saw it.
It's beautiful.
It's on Metalgate, isn't it?
Yep. Calgary police listening to heavy rock music as a warning sign online.
This is nothing new. They said that in like the 1980s, the metal band Husker Du, which I'm laughing at, that's not a metal band.
Husker Du!
You'll get your kids to worship Satan.
Husker don't do that.
Fucking The Clash.
And Elvis was the gateway to Satan.
The punk band The Clash, or it will get your kids to like drop out of school or something with Rock the fucking Casbah.
I know this is nothing new, but this is from August 25th, 2017.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm putting it into perspective for people that this is nothing new.
Yes, it's nothing new.
Died a long time ago.
Look, what's not new.
A Calgary rock fan is taking issue with a list put out by the Calgary Police Service detailing signs of a child being part of a hate group.
My favorite, by the way, Jim, my favorite is the PMRC's list of occult graffiti symbols listed the Jewish Star of David.
Yeah, those fucking Jews, dude. You better watch the fuck out.
What is it? Southern Poverty Law Center saying that like a frog is now like racist.
I think it's fucking annoying. I don't think it's racist. It's just annoying.
Pepe.
Pepe's stupid.
I'm fucking Pee-Pee the frog.
There we go. We should make Pee-Pee the frog. Just pisses on everything.
It's just piss that's coalesced into the shape.
There we go. Piss that's coalesced into a frog shape. And vomit semen. There we go.
No, Jim, it's like a frog with like a
Pee-Pee the frog. Oh my god.
It has like a garden hose for a penis.
There we go. That makes even better, man. Oh, God. We could work with this.
Fucking pee-pee the frog. How is that not a thing already?
Jim, get on that. Anyway, moving on.
Yes, please.
If your child is involved in a hate group, these early warning signs may be a clue.
Okay, let's go through the signs one by one. Come on, we have to have fun.
Yes. Sudden lack of interest in school.
Sudden lack of interest. School's boring.
Suddenly, one day, he came home and was like, fuck school.
He was a model student until one day when the pressure we exerted on him. Scott, he was a model student and he got all A's until one day he suddenly said, fuck school. Now, was this because of the pressure we exerted on him to always be a model student and get all A's? No, it must be the music's fault.
Or it might have been that old dang old pee-pee the frog. Oh,
adopting new groups of friends and staying out late without any explanation, like every fucking teenager.
I really do curse the fact that we live on fucking opposite time zones because, and thousands of miles away, because fucking we'd be out till like 5 a.m.
Then waking up in the neighbor's yard, wondering how come we didn't choke on our own vomit.
And who the hell turned on the sun?
Yeah.
Well, not me.
I love this false equivalence.
Go.
Violence or secretive behavior.
What the fuck?
I was always secretive because I never liked my family.
I always preferred my violence to be done in secret.
Yeah, but secretive behavior, like I'm gonna, or violence.
It's like I don't want my mom knowing I masturbate. That kind of shit.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah,
you always do your masturbation
it kind
out
of
in
sucks
public.
whenever your parents walk in on you while you're trying to bang your girlfriend, and you're like,
just masturbate,
and they start yelling at you.
Come on.
From now on, teens can only masturbate in public.
Otherwise, we never know what they're thinking,
Otherwise, it's secretive behavior, and they're in a cult or something.
They're in a hate.
Honestly, masturbation's kind of violent too. So,
yeah, masturbation's very violent when it's done right. Choke that bitch like it owes you money.
Oops! I think I just masturbated my dick off.
That wasn't very secretive, man.
Overt hostility to parents and family, disobedience, rudeness. Like
that was me my entire life.
It sounds like they're describing ninjas.
No, it doesn't. That was me my whole life. It does.
Violence and secretive behavior and all that shit. That's fucking ninjas.
I mean, I never liked following rules.
You must be a fucking ninja, dude.
Racist graffiti, drawings, and doodling.
Oh, come on. Who hasn't drawn a swastika? I haven't.
And what the hell?
I just drew one like an hour ago.
And what happens if you decide to draw Pee-Pee the Frog? They'll mistake it for Pepe, and all of a sudden now you're drawing racist graffiti. Oh, my God.
Why does Pepe have a garden hose dick?
Yeah, I know.
Does he?
No, Pee-Pee has that? No, Pee-Pee the Frog does.
You said Pepe.
I know. I said Jim, because Jim said they're confusing him with Pepe. Do try to keep up.
No.
Playing loud, heavy rock music with violent lyrics.
Wait, I've been doing that
the good shit.
I've been doing that since age 8. Granted, for many of those years it was poser rock, but still loud, heavy rock.
I never do that. I won't even listen to Kiss.
You're funny.
I know.
Please
Thank
continue.
you, Eric.
Stereotyping and scapegoating of certain groups, name-calling, racial, like nigger, and religious, like kike, slurs.
Like nigger.
But we do that all the time on this show. We have friends We have listeners who...
Black people can't get a break. It's always the first one listed is like nigger.
Yeah, like nigger, like spick, like.
They're always the first one, though.
Where's that rice burner at?
It's the funniest sounding one. That's why.
Rice burner, yeah. It's slant-eyed harbor bombers.
There we go.
Why is racism so fucking funny, man?
Well, it's funny because I have a Japanese friend here who might be listening to the show. Hi, Suzuka.
Yeah.
Making racist or bigoted comments.
Damn dang old Japs. Sorry, Jim. Go ahead. I'll shut up.
Making racist or bigoted comments about minorities, immigrants, or foreigners. Go back to your Fuhrer, you fucking Germans. Get the fuck out of my country.
Goddamn fucking Germans.
Bullshit. Take your BMWs with you.
You know what I'm tired of, Jim? Them damn Irish.
Fucking Irish.
Well, you know what? Why don't
those fucking Irish bitches are always drinking my beer. We gotta get them the fuck out of this country so I can get more beer.
Why don't we just give Ireland back to the snakes?
Yeah, snakes rule.
You know, I'm also tired of Jim, the Mexicans. Oh, wait, sorry.
I don't like Mexicans either.
No. I haven't had Mexican pussy yet. That's on my bucket list.
I have several times.
I have.
It's like in California, you know.
Along with
Mexicans in California, yeah, there is.
Along with chink pussy. I'm probably not getting any now that I keep saying shit like this, but damn, it's on my bucket list.
No,
you know what though? They probably like that kind of thing, dude.
Hey, Jim, I got both. And by the way, it's not, yes, California is swarmed with those taco munchers.
Those damn those dang old Mexicans.
A marked repugnance to consider certain ethnic or religious groups as fully Canadian or even human. Humans are not worth fucking being in
basically,
America.
what I was about to say, basically what happened, Jim, is the cast-offs from Spain who came from Spain to America because they weren't worthy, lowered the genetic gene pool by interbreeding with Indians.
And we have a winner here. We have a winner of one of their warning signs. Wearing or displaying Nazi propaganda and symbols such as swastikas or the Iron Cross and or military clothing and paraphernalia.
I had a thing with the Iron Cross on it.
I'm just impressed with how racist Elliot just was. Oh my God.
And of course, now we're back to complete random bullshit, changing their appearance. What teenager doesn't fucking dye their hair or fucking let it grow in weird ways or shave it? What,
I just got a haircut. Does that mean I'm racist?
Yeah, you're racist.
I mean, Scott, I've been
awesome
for it.
I'm racist because I'm balding naturally.
Isn't that awesome?
It's changing. Therefore, I am racist because I am balding.
And I'm racist, Jim, because I'm fatter than I was probably the day before. I'm slowly getting fatter.
I gained down before I'm racist.
Your voice got lower. You're a racist. But Scott, I mean, I make no apology for it. Those who know me know my beliefs and fucking.
No, never apologize for being racist. That's a bad idea.
Moron.
Robert Riggs.
Dirty dancing. Are the days of mosh pit numbered?
Oh, God.
Oh, don't even.
I don't know. I'm just reading random shit right now.
Continue.
Robert Riggs believes that the idea that youth who listen to rock or heavy metal will turn out to be bad kids is an outdated stereotype.
Of course it's outdated.
Now, that's true.
40 years old.
No, that's true. Just look at you guys.
Ignoring Scott from now on?
Maybe.
Probably not.
My son, he listens to that damn dare heavy metal music, and he's one of the nicest kids I ever met.
Of course, right now he's, sacrificing a goat to Satan, but, hey.
My point exactly. Listen to these fucking Neanderthals here.
Hey, we don't sacrifice goats. Goats are sacred. We only sacrifice humans to Satan.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
See, animal sacrifice is forbidden. Human sacrifice is A-okay.
All right, I'm all right with that.
See, guys.
It obviously helps the overpopulation problem.
I agree.
You guys waited 6 months for this. You sat through 49 Blind Kid Plays videos, and this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
We did the Fallout, but we haven't done a show in 6 months.
But I tend to see him lumped in a group that he doesn't belong in, Riggs said, adding the violent lyrics don't turn people towards violence.
No, I mean,
well, sure they do.
Cannibal Corpse lyrics, they I like them, but I've always had a fascination with violence. I used to crucify my Buzz Lightyear on a cross just to see how a crucifixion would work and how what would happen and things.
I personally don't see myself eating a maggot-infested rotting cunt anytime soon.
I do.
You should try it, man.
Okay, you talked me into it. That's peer pressure, 2 against 1.
It's extra juicy.
It is.
It's kind of gone the way of video games cause violence and things like that. It's not monkey see, monkey do. Kids see their parents go to work all the time, and they don't suddenly get up and find a job at 7 years old. Unless you live in the third world hellhole.
But I mean, it is sort of
holes in the mind.
It is a valid equation, though, because it's like it is a valid equation. I mean, if people think that listening to metal, will make your kid violent, then seeing your parents drink beer will turn you into an alcoholic at age 2, which would be awesome.
Triggered.
And anyway, he also got to sit there and think, how many kids want to play factory worker versus how many kids want to play cowboy, Indian, fucking doctor, anything like that.
I wanted to be a villain on Batman.
See, there we go. That's a valid occupation for a kid to want.
Until you realize Batman will beat the fucking shit out of you.
No, I was going to beat Batman.
I always played Indian. I always played Indian because I could play dirty and kill white people.
Hello, Jenny. Hello again, Jenny Thompson.
Yeah, there we go.
Calgary police spokesman Corin Odland said the reason that the point is on the list is because their own research says that it's a common trend among the groups they deal with.
Calgary was the redneck part of Canada for several years. I mean, it was an oil town in the 1980s. So,
Remember, this is Calgary we're talking about. They shut down Black Pussy. That fucking that was fantastic.
To be honest, Jim,
they're still getting shit, dude, too. That's funny to me.
To be honest, Jim, I probably would have shut them down too, but for different reasons. You guys are too shit to play. Just decapitate them.
Yeah, I even like that style of music, but they suck at it. So, but they're still getting shit over their name to this day. That was like 2 years ago, like 3 years ago.
Yes, and no one cared then, and no one cares now.
I thought it was pretty fucking funny myself.
We're not saying people who listen to rock music are part of hate groups, but there tends to be a correlation.
Well, yeah, but people who are part of hate groups also listen to classical music and jazz and fucking.
Like, I wonder what gays
rap too. I remember the song "We Gotta Fight for a White Nation" from that one band, and they did rap, and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah, what about the Bloods and the Crips and their fucking?
I don't remember that line from that rap song because I wanted to fucking punch the guy that fucking put it in. Fucking, you don't fucking play rap at a party that I'm hosting. No.
Yes, but yeah, exactly. Fucking people play. What about classical music? I mean, I know a lot of Nazis who like classical and folk music.
You know a bunch of Nazis?
Yeah, I know a couple.
No.
People who are involved with hate groups tend to like things that like other people like for totally unrelated reasons. But like we have to judge them for it.
The best
he said.
The best excuse I ever had for like why someone was Nazis. I like extreme things, man.
Yeah. Got to put some edge in that life of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the point isn't meant to be taken by itself. It's in context with other items on the list, which wouldn't apply to Lemmy because he had a huge collection of Nazi memorabilia, and he certainly wasn't.
No, Jim, you've seen the rumors. You've seen the accusations. I've seen the accusations. Lemmy was a secret Nazi.
Yeah.
Because he played with Screwdriver and sent the family of Ian Stewart a bouquet of flowers after he died in 1993. So that must mean he's a Nazi.
That is proof.
Boo-hoo. Fuck these people. They need to die.
Yep. That too.
Like making racist or bigoted comments, as we do a lot. We insult whites, black. I don't care if you're trash, nigger, kike.
Can I interrupt?
And Jim, you already know, because you added them on Facebook, there's a black girl loves the show. There's,
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this.
Yeah. I
can
fucking look at
my
kids, fucking shit. I just don't care. All humans are scum.
All humans are scum.
Gonna fucking call me racist. Fuck you. I'm speciesist. The human species is flawed. Fuck you.
I think the Steve Albini thing is I don't try to justify it. Those who know me and can think can think what they will and guess the truth. And those who can't guess the truth because they can't think for themselves, then they don't deserve the truth.
I love that. Show overt hostility to parents and family. Like how many teenagers? How many
times do I tell my parents that they're genetically defective?
Well, wouldn't that mean you are?
No. Well, it's obvious he is. He was fucking born blind. Come on, he is genetically defective.
Scott,
he does not deserve to reproduce. We know this.
Jim, I'm the biological sport.
Nice.
That's an old timey fucking saying right there. Biological sport.
Whoa! They dug up fucking Revolutionary and Civil War graves recently. What the fuck?
Yep.
My god!
While police won't remove the point, Odlin said they might consider taking the rock word out.
So just music.
Heavy music. If you listen to heavy music.
Well, other than noise and shit, I can't think of anything heavy that's heavy other than rock, other than some industrial stuff.
Michael Adorian, a sociology professor at the University of Calgary, agrees with the warning signs on the list, and that hate music bans are a tool hate groups use to convert. We got done with that article just prior.
Jim, I told you the story of my friend Tamara, who's black, who signs up fake accounts on Stormfront so she can get Nazi music recommendations because she's a huge NS punk fan.
My friend Tamara, who's black.
Tomorrow, not tomorrow, stupid.
No, it's tomorrow.
Anyway, Jim, I told you that story. Mm-hmm. She turned me on to Max Resist, Brutal Attack.
Max Resist. Oh, there's another name I haven't heard in a while. Ages. Yeah. Of course, there's
Angry Aryans, Bully Boys.
Oh, Bully Boys.
And I was sent all these discographies by a black girl.
I actually haven't heard of the Angry Aryans. I haven't heard of that.
Really go. I'll send Empire Falls, Better Dead Than Red. So, but I was sent this by a black girl.
Yay. That's got about people's braids. We're going to use that one picture I found with the fucking black guy holding the fucking Confederate flag and the white guy holding Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Anyways.
Sammy Jackson.
However, with the phrasing, he said it's important to take the items on the list as a whole and understand within a context of a youth's experiences. How many people are going to sit there and actually itemize, is my kid a racist? Using a list like that.
They'll look for one thing and go, well, he does this. He must be, oh my God, my kid's the next Hitler.
My kid just changed their appearance. Oh my God, he's the next Hitler. Meanwhile, he's like one of them fucking otherkin types that like.
Or fucking emo Hot Topic or a furry or something.
Yeah, emo Hot Topic furry otherkin.
Oh my God, no. Move on. I have images in my head.
Good. Suffer and perish. Here, Riggs agrees that some of the items, like sudden lack of interest in school, are just normal things kids go through.
I mean, listening to heavy music. I mean, I got into it because I heard, like, Fueled by Metallica, which, yes, Jim isn't, but I remember I was 7 years old. And I was like, wow, that's really good. And then I heard, and just ballooned from there. But it didn't lead to any sort of racism. It just led to me having a 200,000 song music library.
He just doesn't want to see fans of a particular type of music, particularly youth, to be unfairly judged because of it. He noted that there are many heavy metal bands out there that do lean left. So now you're admitting that the list is erroneous.
But
just like there's diversity in opinions with other genres of music, like rap. I've heard white supremacist rap before.
I don't give a shit.
And I wanted to fucking murder the guy that put it in because it was rap.
But really, I don't care. I mean, I suppose it matters for other, but I don't care if people judge. Fine. If you think I'm a Nazi because I listen to Archgoat, then fine. I don't want to talk to you anyway. Eric's a Nazi because he listens to Kiss. By the way, happy birthday, Gene Simmons. I own a bank machine.
Oh my God, really?
I said that to him on Twitter, actually.
Oh yeah, you told me that he blocked.
No. Today, Charlie Benante was saying happy birthday, Gene Simmons, and tagged him, and I replied, you better watch out. He owns a bank machine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
he owns a Jew named Gene.
Here we go from rifuture.org. Dusk cancels heavy metal band over accusations of white supremacy.
Accusations, not actually convictions.
Rick Sunderland, owner of the nightclub Dusk in Providence, has canceled a show by the band Inquisition.
Yay, one of a great band. Check them out. Wait, you've already heard of them if you're listening to this.
Yeah, overcharges that band members Jason Dragon Warbach and Thomas Incubus Stevens are white supremacists or Nazis.
Dagon, not Dragon.
Okay.
Dragon's cooler.
No, Dagon's a Lovecraft thing.
I don't care. Dragon's...
Jim, continue. Dragon's power metal. Jim, continue before I throttle Scott with the...
For information on the accusations against the band, see here, which links to Metal Sucks, and here, which also links to Metal Sucks.
Yes, and we did those a long time ago.
Warbach has denied that he is a Nazi, and they even linked the article where he denies it. But that hasn't persuaded a number of local Rhode Islanders from sharing their reservations about the band playing in Rhode Island on social media.
And by the way, their music is not about Nazism. Even if he's a Nazi, the music is ritualistic Satan worshipping black metal, as it should be.
As the controversy heated up on Facebook, Sunderland canceled the show and issued a statement saying, I want to let you know I will not let one event give what I've built for 7 years a bad name. And I never want to alienate or hurt anyone's feelings or be insensitive to their beliefs. Pussy. Everyone's insensitive to my beliefs, and I don't give a shit.
The problem is it just has. Now you have people going, well, I'm not going to go to Dusk if they're not going to show any good bands. Like Inquisition.
Mm-hmm. Therefore, I'd rather have you guys always loving and enjoying Dusk. Yay.
I mean, now you're going to get, I mean, if someone's in Rhode Island, I don't know why the hell you go to Rhode Island, but if someone's in Rhode Island, some metalhead, well, there's a club called Dusk. No, they don't have any good bands. They canceled Inquisition. No, we're not going there.
Activist Naomi Chomsky, no relation to Noam Chomsky.
That would be interesting.
Who helped alert me to this issue, wrote me after Sunderland's statement was made public. She said, as an anti-racist and a socialist, I don't believe that it's ever acceptable to give white supremacists a platform.
I'm a social democrat, and I think it's acceptable to give white supremacists a platform, and black supremacists, and communists, and NCAPs, and NCOMs, and right-wing libertarian survivalist nut jobs if you can get them out of their fucking basement with all their guns.
I believe it is our duty to vehemently oppose it whenever it rears its ugly head, even when it does not exist even in the slightest. And the people actually bash fucking Nazism.
His statement was it was an interesting subject, and Holocausts happen, and people took issue with that. And I was like, if you think the Holocaust was the only Holocaust,
yeah. But it is especially heinous given that the band was dropped from another Providence venue because they didn't want to give the stage to white supremacists. Prove that they're white supremacists. I have not seen the proof because they deny it.
I've seen tangential proof, as in they worked with some white supremacist bands and the label No Colors Records and things like that. But it's all, I mean, it's all pretty much explainable that No Colors is a great underground label.
I applaud Dusk's decision to cancel their appearance. Providence does not welcome Nazis or their sympathizers. Jeez.
They're not fucking Nazis. God.
After hearing no one takes Metal Sucks seriously, here's someone taking Metal Sucks seriously.
Yeah, someone on the Metal
working
Gate
to shut up fucking...
someone on the Metal Gate Band comment section, for those of you who don't know, who aren't in the Metal Gate Band Facebook page with this group, which is dead, but hey, someone in the Metal Gate, why do you take Metal Sucks seriously? Because these people do.
And they're the ones getting these people do, and they're the ones getting shows shut down.
Yes, we have to point out these out because, yeah. And by the way, this is a Swine Brothers top tip. If you're in Providence, Rhode Island, stay away from Dusk.
You know, what he's really saying there, though, is you should just, piss on their ashes.
No, what I'm really saying is if you're in Providence, Rhode Island, stay away from
No, not you fucker. The guy who said, why are you taking Metal Sucks seriously? He's saying troll the shit out of them.
Trolling's not going to accomplish anything. It's going to amuse you, but
it's going to amuse you, and that's all that fucking matters.
I'm in for a serious, thoughtful conversation.
From the Washingtonian, Nazi metal band loses Maryland gig.
Oh wait, okay. So what Nazi metal band is this? Dark Fury, Totenberg, Der Stürmer. What Nazi metal band could this be, Jim? Argosland?
A Maryland tattoo shop that regularly hosts metal shows almost featured a band best known to metalheads for its anti-Semitic lyrics and artwork. The band, Nyogthaeblis, Nyogthaeblis.
Yes, I know the band. I'm
spelling it for fans because I can't pronounce it.
I was deliberately building that up. Their lyrical themes on Metal Archives are anti-Abrahamic religions, which
includes the drumroll, please, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, along with a couple others, because they're Satanists. Fancy that, Satanists against Abrahamic religion. Who'd have thunk?
Hey Jim, I found a girlfriend for you. Look at my screen share.
There we go. Nice.
One more time.
What is it?
Oh my God! What the fuck is that?
What is it? Describe it.
You don't want to know. It's really... It's like one of those chicks, they have to cut out the wall of the house in order to get her out with a fucking forklift to take her to the hospital.
Wait a minute. Wait, Scott, you found my ex?
Dude, this bitch's fatty fupa is the most fucked up thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, Scott, you found my ex?
Yeah, you've heard of camel toe. This is elephant fucking toe. Dude, look at that fucking thing.
And they're still not showing any of the actual naughty bits, so I think YouTube will not ban us.
Oh my god. It looks just like a leathery... No, that's going away now. Bye-bye.
Oh, pussy.
No.
Anyways, Yogasbliz was pulled from Friday night's lineup at Gaithersburg Raw Inc. after members of the local metal scene alerted the venue's owner. More people who take metal sucks seriously. The band, based in Texas, was originally slated to be the now 4-act show's headliner. So you canceled your headliner, the main draw.
Yeah, man, that's how you know they're serious.
Oh, and by the way, Hells Headbangers does sell their shirts.
Good. But lost its booking after Raw Inc.'s owner, Bobby Weschler, says he was alerted to Yogasbliz's previous work. Yogasbliz's discography includes songs like Esoteric Fascism.
Fascism does not equal Nazism, thank you.
No, it does not. A likely reference to esoteric Nazism, the blanket term for mystical improvisations of Nazi philosophy that crop blah blah blah.
A likely term. But it's and by the way, it's not called "We Love Esoteric Fascism." It's not called. I mean, what. Iron Maiden writes songs about like World War II and
Angel of Death, infamous butcher.
Yeah,
but Monarch of the Kingdom of the Dead.
Jim Slayer's gotten shit for that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm bringing it up.
But I'm saying like Sabaton writes songs about Nazism and Nazis and things. It could have just been an exploration into esoteric fascism. I don't know the lyrics. I know the song, but the lyrics are pretty damn indistinguishable.
Weschler says that the shows at Raw Inc. They're booked by someone outside the tattoo shop who works under the title Legion of Death Productions, but that person was not available. We'll do research on the bands, and they usually look great, Weschler says. We saw this slip by and started looking into it when people came to me. It was quite scary when we saw the photographs alone.
Someone get a photograph and share it.
What?
Yogasbliz has been called out for its anti-Semitism before. In 2011, it was removed from the bill at an Austin metal festival after organizers realized the band's nature as Satanist and being anti-Abrahamic. But because, Jews are included in being Abrahamic.
That's kind of the funny thing, isn't it? You can be as anti-Christian as you want, but as soon as you say anything about not even the Jews as a people, but just the faith and the Islamic faith, suddenly it's bad. But you can say whatever you want about the bastard son of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Islam.
That episode still resonates with knowledgeable metalheads who says they're knowledgeable. They're not.
It does still resonate.
And fucking
like
Nazis.
Me, I don't know
not
shit.
Knowledgeable.
It does actually resonate because we covered it a couple episodes back.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was
and
5
I'm
years out of date.
I don't know shit about metal.
Yes, but you're very loud.
Yeah.
I knew as soon as I saw metal, Chris says. It pissed me off. I do a lot for promoting metal and DIY scenes. And to have racist bands take advantage of that is offensive to me. Aww.
And even if they're racist, they're not as overt as other bands like Der Stürmer, Dark Fury. I mean, really.
Metal Chris, who publishes DCHeavyMetal.com. Something that you don't even want to fucking go to. Deprive him of clicks.
Deprive him of oxygen to breathe.
Yeah.
A new court ruling tells streaming
he's definitely a poser because he has no idea what Satanism actually is.
What's that, Scott?
This fucking court, I guess, told this streaming service who's all feminist that it's illegal to fucking remove objectionable content from movies they don't like. That's awesome.
I wonder if
the booking
that'll actually stand up in any high court. Probably not. Anyway, Jim.
The booking was especially hurtful in light of last weekend's white supremacist rally at Charlottesville, Virginia.
Here we go.
Oh God, give it a few weeks, then people will be on to the next thing to be offended about.
Who remembers fucking the brown guy, the brown who got shot? Nobody even remembers his name anymore. I don't.
Nobody does. Which culminated in an apparent terrorist attack in which 20-year-old James Alex Fields Jr. allegedly used his car to mow down a crowd, killing one, injuring 19 more.
Which, of course, is an action I do not support.
I thought it was fucking funny.
I mean, I don't support.
Yeah, it was fucking funny as hell to watch, but he deserves to rot in jail.
I mean, they have every
that too, but
it'll be fun. You know what we should do? It'd be real fun just to watch that footage, which is fun as hell, than to watch his anal raping in prison.
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
Put that right side by side.
I love the people trying to defend him, though.
What?
I love the people trying to defend him, though.
Oh,
because the way everything looked to me, because I know how these fucking things went, at least back in the day. We're like, no, you don't want to hurt anyone. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. Like the fucking Nazis had rank file. You were not, whenever they did their rallies, you could not do anything unless they attacked you with enough force to warrant force back. I mean,
I bet people defending the guy were citing that law that says if they're blocking the street, you can run over them.
The whole thing was that the Nazis wanted to play the victim card, just like all these offended assholes try to play the victim card today. I'm offended. I'm a victim. You know, it's the same damn shit because Nazis are saying I'm offended. I'm a victim. It's just, God.
Anyway, continue with the article.
I'm pretty embarrassed, Weschler says. I have a set list from each band now, and I'm going through the lyrics.
This is deja vu.
Well, I mean, and, you know, this is more of a punk thing. The punk scene has had, I mean, vetting like this, and I didn't support it. I mean, I supported it until I learned, but I'll listen to good music. Fuck, I mean, I won't go to a Bound for Glory show because I'm blind. I'll probably get killed by people who think I'm racially inferior or something, but Bound for Glory's Ironborn, still my favorite album of the year. Ironborn.
Yeah, I'm pretty embarrassed about it, and scary to see those photos and what might have happened had this gone through because, you know, Satan.
Nothing would have happened. It would have been a good show for all.
Yeah, God.
Well, I just found
remember the PMRC has returned. Welcome to 1980s.
Well, like I said, it is returned, but it's people who like metal in some way, or at least in the metal, and there is a metal community or scene, Jim. Because
yes, I understand this. You don't have to keep repeating it every 5 seconds. I know.
I have to keep repeating it for people.
Hey, it's PMRC 2.
No,
the sequel.
Jim, I have to repeat it because people.
Yeah, it's a sequel. It's the same exact thing.
It's a sequel.
Like 2 or 3 things just to make it, the sequel better, and it sucks even worse.
It's kind of interesting now that they don't have the conservative or whatever Democrat censors to fight. Now they're turning on each other. I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't happen in the 90s when they went from attacking Satanism to attacking rap and hip hop, but it took 30 years to finally realize that. I mean, controversy is good, and hell, some of the best music was made at the wake of the PMRC, so maybe this will spawn a whole wake of really good music. And I have.
That's what I was trying to say earlier, but you're like, they shouldn't react to it. Fuck that. Make the most offensive music you can make.
Not offensive music, Scott. I'm not saying make it offensive. I mean, make it good.
Oh my God. You know exactly what I meant.
Anyways, no sympathy for these devils. The 1980s heavy metal satanic panic. Let's actually try to draw some parallels here.
Say evil in league with Satan.
The satanic panic of the 1980s boasted some harrowing, serious moments that ranged from real murder and suicide to widespread bogus claims of child abuse that forever tainted the lives of the accused.
Yes, it did.
The era also had its ludicrous side, though, very enjoyable, involving fear of Motley Crue.
Well, wait, this is unfair. I'm afraid of Motley Crue. I'm afraid of listening to their music ever again. Shite.
There's a difference between fear of vomiting and fear of they're going to corrupt my children.
Well, I'm afraid of that too, Jim. If my kids ever listen to Motley Crue, they turn out in glammies. I feel as a parent.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to see it to know anyway.
Hey, I'm just giving him shit because Eric's still here.
Holy shit.
Anyways, and role-playing games such as Dungeons and Dragons,
which was made by a Christian, by the way.
Also remember that your first roll was a natural 1. So instead of setting that statue on fire, you set yourself on fire.
I love that. I still think Jim made some voodoo witchcraft magic to make that happen.
I wish I even fudged the roll to make it a natural 1, but it was a natural 1.
That was awesome.
I was like, oh my God, I have to punish this. I was going to let you set the statue on fire to show you can do anything you want, but you know.
But first rolls, and that just proves that Goat hates me.
Yeah. But even that led to lawmakers in Congress holding hearings to decide whether official government censorship regulations would be the only means protecting innocents from the occult powers of Ozzy Osbourne. Wasn't that the emphasis of the articles we just got done reading?
Well, no, it used to be Satan, now it's white supremacy.
Yeah.
Same thing.
The 80s satanic panic is often tracked back to the very dawn of the decade with the publication of the demonic ritual abuse memoir Michelle Remembers by Michelle Smith.
One of my favorite books ever. If anyone find it and read it, it is an amazing book.
In terms of heavy metal music making its way into the madness, though, it can be argued that dirtbag drug dealer turned thrill killer Ricky Casso ignited the fuse in 1984 that exploded a year later from the Richard Ramirez Satan espousing Night Stalker serial murderer.
My favorite story about him is he couldn't kill a girl, so he thought Jesus had intervened on her behalf.
By any reasonable stretch, they were both scary guys in genuinely heinous ways, and quite pathetic. So we point and laugh at their patheticness.
Richard Ramirez was basically a fucking junkie dropout.
Butthole.
I mean, you know.
Provided the public with rational reasons to panic in their own idiotic way.
You know what I think is interesting, Jim, is this whole satanic panic happened, and then in the 90s, all of a sudden, bands started coming out with actual Satanist beliefs, not just Ozzy Osbourne saying he's the Prince of Darkness, but, I mean, Dissection and Beherit and Archgoat and bands like that. So, in a way, they were right, but...
So we're just going to have an explosion of NSBM, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I was thinking too.
Of course. I mean, unlike fucking the Satanic, it was actually a smart form of Satanism. You know that but still, it's so we'll at least have smart NSBM, Jim.
Yeah.
The 17-year-old Casso, of course, was the lesser of the two in terms of total atrocities, but the savagery of the crime made him famous. In 1984, LSD pusher Casso. Yay! So that's a bad trip we're talking. Okay.
Just
calling himself the Acid King. I am the Acid King. I can do anything. Blah. Wait, that was Jim Morrison saying he's the Lizard King. Anyway.
Yes. Or Venom's Acid Queen.
And vandalized local playgrounds with graffiti tributes to Black Sabbath and, as he spelled it, Satin.
How did he spell it?
Satin.
Satin. Hail Satin.
Mm-hmm. Satin blankets. Those are good shits.
Cox and stained satin.
Accused Gary Lars, also 17, of stealing drugs and money. Well, there's your
Gary Lars sounds like a meth dealer.
Yeah. So there's your motive. He stole drugs and money.
Yep. Gary Lars, that son of a buck.
Continue.
While gathered around a campfire with pals, Casso said he would kill Lars in a satanic ritual. He then stabbed Lars repeatedly, forcibly removed the teen's eyeballs, and told him, "Say you love Satan."
Say you love Satan, bitch. Say you love Satan. Do you love Satan, bitch? What's your name? Oh.
Lars responded, I love my mother. So his mother was Satan.
Hello? Hello? Ooh. His mother was Jenny Fuck.
And then he died.
I love my mother. That's a...
Police promptly arrested Casso, and bless us all, he did look somewhat like the devil himself with fiery hair. No, he didn't.
Do they have pictures?
They have some pictures. Bugged out eyes and an AC/DC t-shirt.
No, Scott, Antichrist Demon Corps, motherfuckers. Oh, wait,
what?
That's the other AC/DC.
Oh.
No, that's the actual cool AC/DC, not the one that's like, blah.
Way to hell. I could never get into AC/DC because even if they had some decent riffs, the vocals would come in and just...
Yeah.
It's another band that just makes me laugh when I hear them.
It was a t-shirt bearing the image of a screaming demon head.
And then Bon Scott choked on his own vomit.
Yeah. And then they got Brian Johnson,
who didn't choke on his own vomit.
A few hours later, Casso hanged himself in his jail cell because he was a complete pussy.
Wait, Jim. His name was Ricky, right? Ricky hung himself. It happened just the other day. I had to do it.
There we go.
Oh, this bitch.
Some initial reports, not confirmed, claimed that he used the same AC/DC t-shirt. Well, what are you going to hang yourself with inside a prison cell? Usually your own clothes or your bed linens.
Jesus, AC/DC's not satanic, people.
I gotta go.
I'm surprised Slayer didn't get more shit.
Peace. I'm out of here. I gotta go work.
See you, Scotty.
All right, peace.
Around the same time as Casso's case broke, Richard Ramirez began a year-long terrorist spree of invading homes in the dead of night to murder and mutilate a multitude of victims, including sometimes whole families at once, in a series of grotesqueries he said were offerings to Satan.
And usually old ladies, which is just disturbing.
The fact that Ramirez left a baseball cap with an AC/DC logo on it.
I love that they like.
So we're finding out that his serial killers have shit taste in music. Good to know.
I mean, isn't it interesting that Venom and Slayer were there along the time, and they were explicitly in Merciful Fate, and yet it's like Slayer was attached to like one murder or whatever, but you know, AC/DC, who aren't Satanists at all. I think Brian Johnson's an atheist, and Bon Scott's dead, so he doesn't count.
Yay. Injected metal into the scene of fear.
AC/DC's metal?
Oh, yes, they are.
How's that work? How is AC/DC metal?
I must have slept through that.
I have no idea. I'm just bored. Carry on.
It only intensified after Ramirez's capture. He showed up to his trial with a pentagram carved in his right hand and regularly disrupted the court by crying out, "Hail Satan!" I'm trying to get off on a fucking on an insanity plea. Hail Satan! Let me off. I don't want to go to jail. Hail Satan!
I'm sane. Hail Satan. Oh God, he's sane.
AC/DC found themselves under scrutiny as a result, with venues canceling shows.
Good.
The band maintained that their song Night Prowler, from which Ramirez's nickname Night Stalker is thought to have derived, is just about a teenager sneaking into his girlfriend's bedroom after her parents have gone to sleep. Who hasn't done that?
And murdering her brutally.
Oh, apparently. During the Satanic Panic, even that practice was enough to raise hairs. You know, the same thing normal teenagers do. They sneak into their partner's beds after their parents are God!
And rape and murder them brutally.
God, I remember back in high school, like fucking, I'd just sit there cuddling my girlfriend on the couch, waiting for her parents to go to sleep. And after they go to sleep, we'd pork and have to bite on the damn fucking pillows and shit, make certain we didn't like moan and shit.
Oh, hell, I heard a story about a friend who went up to an apartment when everyone was asleep, like, you know, climbed up on a bed sheet, climbed into the window, and fucked two sisters that went home.
Exactly. And the only in my stories, the entire reason I remember the RoboCop TV show.
Nobody remembers the RoboCop TV show, Jim.
Well, you know, whenever you're lying there trying to pass out after you get your happy ending, it's like, oh, that's what's on right now. We'll watch it. Because, oh, God, and it's pretty cool.
They should have given RoboCop, like, fucking devil horns and fucking breathe fire.
Late at night on December 23rd, 1985, Judas Priest fans Raymond Belknap, 18, and James Vance, 20, went to a local playground in Nevada with a shotgun and attempted to blow their heads off. Belknap succeeded. Vance shot off most of his face and died later from complications. The young men's parents blamed Judas Priest.
my favorite quote from this is Halford going, "Wait, if we were going to put backwards masking in our music, why would we say kill yourself to our fans? We'd probably put backward, buy more records, buy more records."
Yeah, really. You know, buy the same record 12 times. Yes. Give me money. That's what I would backmask.
All of a sudden, I want to buy every edition of this record.
Just remember that they also backmasked Mr. Ed's theme song.
And fucking, what was it? Ollie North was backmasking a fucking love song. I've actually heard it without the, you know, Guar's Ollie North. I actually heard the backmasking. And it's a fucking drunken version of a love song.
There we go. Specifically, that issue was an alleged backward message on Priest's song "Better You Than Me."
Better by you, but it's a Spooky Tooth cover.
Yeah. The parents claim that when played backwards, the record ordered the listener to do it. Do what?
Yeah, I never understood that. It's like, wait, do it. What? Like, do drugs? Do it? Go out to 7-Eleven and get some soda?
Yeah, I'm hungry. You know, we could go out to fucking get myself some food. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, we'll go to fucking Burger King. Let's do it.
The record is commanding me to go to Burger King.
5 years later, Judas Priest had to defend itself in court against a lawsuit filed by the parents. Frontman Rob Halford sang the song from the witness stand. After a month, the judge dismissed the case.
I wish I was there to see Halford because he left Priest after that.
Afterward, Halford said it tore us up emotionally hearing someone say, "This is a band that creates music that kills young people. We accept that some people don't like heavy metal, but we can't let them convince us that it's negative and destructive. Heavy metal is a friend that gives people great pleasure and enjoyment and helps them get through hard times."
See, I'm willing to applaud this from Halford because he's not an extreme metal guy. He's not talking about, the dark side. He's a fucking Judas Priest. He's talking about dragons and partying.
Yeah. In 1986, Suicide Solution, an anthem warning about the perils of alcohol, drinking to fix your problems, by Ozzy Osbourne, faced similar legal troubles.
I never liked
the parents of a teenager who allegedly killed himself after listening to Suicide Solution filed a wrongful death suit against Osbourne, claiming that the song contains the lyric, "Why try? Get the gun and shoot." Osbourne and the bass player Bob Daisley, who wrote the words, countered that the line is actually "get the flaps out," with flaps being British slang for female private parts.
Hello.
Ozzy won the case, obviously.
I just love the British. They're so alliterative. Flaps. That's what we're gonna call pussy, flaps.
That's great.
I'm gonna do that from now on.
On October 25th, 1988, NBC aired Devil Worship, Exposing Satan's Underground.
Have you seen that? It's actually on YouTube. It's great. Megadeth's satanic, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Which Dave Mustaine must really like these days.
A live 2-hour primetime special hosted by journalist Geraldo Rivera, just before he'd go on to get his nose broken by brawling skinheads on his...
That was one of the greatest moments in television history.
Devil Worship alleged that coast-to-coast networks of Satan-worshipping sickos were at work abducting, torturing, and kidnapping all manners of innocents in the name of the Dark Master.
Eric, you're next.
Metal Sucks alleged that coast-to-coast networks of white supremacist Nazis were at work abducting, torturing, kidnapping all manners of immigrants and minorities and women in the name of their Dark Master, Adolf Hitler.
Hail Adolf Hitler.
Every conceivable manner of extreme occult crime, particularly those committed against children, was presented as actively taking place all over America in stupefyingly huge numbers. There's billions of them. How many Americans are there?
Less than a billion. But there's still billions of them. Well, you know the things they're producing babies for sacrifice. They kidnap women, hypnotize them, and fucking impregnate them, and
Oh God, I wore a Metallica shirt, Metallica's Black Album T-shirt to high school, and I was dubbed the fucking satanic baby killer after that.
I know a guy who's put in the hospital for wearing a Load T-shirt to a death metal show.
Well, that's different.
I know, but you reminded me of this fucking story. Yes. Well, no, shit. I mean, I had no friends in middle school because I liked devil-worshipping bands like Bullet for My Valentine. And the Christian metal band As I Lay Dying. Oh,
yeah, but the whole thing was there was literally supposed to be thousands of infant corpses buried in my father's backyard, which wasn't disturbed for years after I left. And then whenever his fucking house went up for sheriff's sale, no infant corpses were found. So the story shifted from me burying their corpses in the backyard to me opening a fucking evil vortex to hell to give Satan himself all the babies I kept abducting. I don't even know how our population had to swell with thousands of babies for such a small rinky-dink town. But, I mean, I could see maybe getting that going more in a large town, large city, but we're a fucking small suburb. How do I get all those babies?
Jim,
especially without having a car to go places where there are more babies.
I'm very disappointed that story is not real, by the way.
I am too. Mostly what the show offered as proof was the popularity of heavy metal music, with Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden receiving a particularly rough going over by Rivera.
Oh, God.
666, the number of the beast. Yeah. The show also rolled out claims of satanic conspiracies by noteworthy level heads such as Charles Manson and David Berkowitz, the son of Sam Killer, as reasonable arguments.
Charles Manson was not a Satanist.
I know.
He
was the second coming of Christ. How could he be a Satanist?
Exactly. I've studied the Manson case and Dave Berkowitz was just a he killed people who were in love. Good.
In defense of metal, Ozzy Osbourne via satellite said all the Devil songs were strictly show business, while face-painted Danish howler King Diamond said he was a proud Satanist and encouraged others to join his faith.
But King Diamond is a Levian Satanist, and they don't actually worship Satan. By the way, the most interesting thing about the show was Ozzy Osbourne was coherent.
Yeah,
because it was 1988. But yeah, the thing about King Diamond's belief is it's edgy atheism. I mean, I don't have anything against it. I don't consider it, but it's not Satanism. It's edgy atheism.
Despite the special's extravagant portrait of a nation run rampant with hell-praising cannibal cults and blood-drinking butchers for Beelzebub at large, no arrests resulted from the broadcast.
I'm starting my new band, the Blood-Drinking Cannibal Cult. Or I'm sorry, the what was it? The Hell. What was it? The Hell. Yeah, the Hell-Praising Cannibal Cult is my new band.
Yes, Hell-Praising Cannibal Cult. And Blood-Drinking Butchers for Beelzebub.
That's our first album.
Yeah.
Blood-Drinking Butchers for Beelzebub.
For a couple wild weeks in August 1985, Headbangers overtook the United States government. I wish. The occasion was a hearing mounted by Parents Music Resource Center, the PMRC, a political agitation group founded by Tipper Gore, Democrat, and other senators' wives, both Democrats and Republicans.
Yes,
Notice the theme here. It's going to be Democrat and Republican.
As Frank Zappa said, hey, you give a few blowjobs and boom, you have a committee hearing.
Yeah. That sought to bring state power down on rock and pop music as they deemed perilous to the American public.
And the precious bodily fluids.
Gee, doesn't that sound like all the other articles we read here? We got to bring it down because it's dangerous to the American public.
The only difference is it hasn't quite gotten to political fucking hearing yet.
It's getting there. It'll happen. Heavy metal, of course, came up immediately. Devil's Horns first. The PMRC kicked off proceedings by presenting material it deemed most in need of legislative squelching, including Twisted Sister's We're Not Gonna Take It.
Oh, yeah, I think it needs legislative squelching. Oh, shit song.
Wasps Fuck Like a Beast.
Again, no, they couldn't even F-U-C-K like a beast. If you actually see the thing, they couldn't even say the word fuck.
Yeah. And lyrics by The Mentors, a shock rock ensemble whom precious few rock fans were familiar beforehand,
Queen,
but who have remained infamous ever since.
Sick. And my favorite Mentors, I know I tell you this every fucking time they bring up, but I love this story. You remember when Guar was on Jerry Springer, Jim? And El Duce of the Mentors was there, and
yeah,
he was interviewing a woman, and he goes, "When were you raped?" And the woman goes, "About 15 years ago." Why? Well, you look kind of familiar. And what people don't know is El Duce was basically a half performance artist, half trailer trash. But he fucking was, his whole rape rock thing was basically a a comedy act. I mean, he was,
Yeah.
He's actually a really nice guy once you got to know him, but I've heard he was one ugly motherfucker. It was Springer. I think it was like, okay, take your mask off. Okay, put your mask back on.
Speaking on behalf of unregulated expression, we're eccentric rock visionary, legend, and fucking awesome Frank Zappa.
I've never really been into his music. It's just a little too out there for me, but I respect Frank Zappa.
Most fucking metalheads do. Some random pud named Joe Denver and Twisted.
No, wait. He's not a random pud, Jim. John Denver was key in getting people because he was a pop star or something like that.
Yeah.
And people's grandmothers like John Denver. Okay, he was the safest, and everyone thought John Denver would come out on the PMRC side. And when he came out on the side of censorship, Tipper Gore had to do some serious damage control, and she went, "That's not the old John Denver. Have you seen his new video? He had his shirt off." No,
yeah.
he's not a random pud. He's very significant to this. I mean, his music sucks ass, but
yeah. And Twisted Sister's own front beast, Dee Snider,
who gave a great, eloquent. I hate fucking Twisted Sister and Dee Snider, but I loved his, speech.
Oh yeah. Good work there. Just fuck the government.
I never thought I'd actually defend John Denver and Dee Snider, but I must.
Yeah, you have to. To the surprise of all, Snyder spoke eloquently with great power, ultimately steering Congress away from turning the creators of edgy music into outlaws and allow the music business to police its own materials.
Which they still are. I mean, fuck, you think Archgoat plays Hellfest, which has mainstream music, but only because Hellfest has their little black metal stages. You think Archgoat would fucking fly anywhere, and like even the metal stations, they're too heavy for that.
And that's how parental advisory explicit content stickers ended up on album jackets and tipped kids off everywhere to which records they should buy right away.
I remember people actually being
Oh, I remember that. I remember that explicitly. Of course, that was mostly the joke that we kept telling each other. Ooh, explicit lyrics. Let's get that. But we weren't trendy enough to do that. We actually looked for music that looked interesting.
I remember artists actually being really afraid of the explicit lyrics thing, not unjustifiably, because their thing was, well, let's say kids buy the music with explicit lyrics, and then their parents find it. No, you can't have this, and send it back, and all of a sudden the store's getting a shitload of returns because it's explicit lyrics.
And then the other side of it was the fact that some stores did refuse to, at the time it was first enacted, fucking stores refused to carry anything with explicit lyrics.
Yep. But, and there was real fear. I remember Jello Biafra talking about it. I remember there was real fear, a little bit before my time, but the real fear that basically any sort of label would basically go, okay, here's what you can sing about and here's what you can't. Now, that kind of moot because of the internet nowadays.
Well, anyways, that's what I got for today here.
We hope you've enjoyed the show.
Yes. And we hope that we pissed someone off.
We hope we'll do another show in the next 6 months.
Yay. All right.
Well, this has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode 130 for the 25th, 26th in Jim's weird land of August 2017. If you'd like to get in contact with us, questions, comments, death threats, email us cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com. And if you'd like to be on the show as well, you can email us at, sorry, I just did that. Hey, I'm out of practice. Fuck you, Jim. Facebook is Swine Brothers and Twitter is SwineBro666. For Scott, who hasn't been on here since like 2008. For Eric, who said 5 words. For my Seeing Eye Mutant and newsreader, Jim, I'm your host, Elliot Lindemood. Sodomize a goat monkey.
Homicide, cop cunts, kill cult.